I went to Tahiti on vacation. I went out and played a pickup game with a bunch of the locals on a tennis court at our hotel. It was awesome. If I score, you're done.
You're not gonna score.
It was awesome. It was actually like the most fun I've ever had playing soccer almost. Are you kidding? Mainly I played soccer games growing up. My first game was Goal. I think it was for Nintendo. I played that game probably for like the first 3 years it came out. And it was so bad. Those games were so bad. But they were so much fun. And then as time wore on, I started playing other sports games. And generally what I did is that season in real life, that season started playing, I would play that game. So if the NHL season was starting, I'd play NHL. And then when basketball started, I'd play NBA Live. And then when football started, I'd play Madden. And it's just kind of how I've always done it. And I still do it now. It's pretty amazing. But I think they take a lot of pride in it. EA takes a lot of pride in how they do that. And you play other games and you look at guys and you're like, that's not really him, you know? But they're amazing at it. And thank God, because it's cool, and it's cool to show your friends and people you know play. And that's sweet, that's really him. I remember vividly when I was on the cover of 03, FIFA 03. You would not believe how excited people were that I know. To pick up the game that you've played for like 12 years straight, every year when it came out, and pick it up and see your face, you're gonna, surreal. It's been interesting, I think, for our league, because having David here now, you have people like Ruud Gullit who says, you know what, I want to go do that. I want to go join the guys. So you have people like Swarovski, the guy from Celtic, that say, I want to go play with David Beckham, live in LA, and this league's growing and it looks like it's fun. I want to go do that. And that wasn't there before. And so from that standpoint, I have to say, David's been a massive success. I think adjusting is the right word, because you don't realize what it's going to be like when he comes. And so when he did come, it was just this massive, like, bam, it's on you all of a sudden. And we didn't really know what it was going to be like, what to expect. It's been interesting. It's been crazy. But I think over time you understand what the routine is, how it all works, and you just adjust and get on with it. And you just realize that this is the way it's going to be. And now let's just move on and forget about that, and let's go back to, we have to still play games and do well. That's been difficult for U.S. soccer players, period, because for so long nobody expects us to do anything. And throughout the 90s it was like, no, they're not good, they suck, they're not good, blah, blah, blah. Now we're to a point where we've had that mentality our whole life, and even me watching growing up, I knew that about our teams. Like, oh, they're not as good as others, they're not as good as Mexico, blah, blah, blah. Now you're expected to qualify, and people forget or don't know how difficult it is to qualify in this area. That's what I've learned most about World Cups also, is that you're pretty close to similar level as far as talent, tactically, all that stuff with a lot of teams. You need to consistently play well. Team chemistry has to be good, and you have to have things go your way. You have to have luck.
Ball game.
Are you kidding me?
Great success.
How does that go in?